Um, okay, so he's starting well with a 5k swing. Let's just go ahead and give the 2k here. Oh no! It's Roger! Oh my god. Welcome back, guys. This is Colin with the Sun Pirates TCG. Today we are taking a first look at the new Nico Robin leader from OP9. So being yellow-purple, she is the first of her kind with that inherent banish ability, as well as having a very helpful inherent ramp, so we don't have to play cards like Bond Clay to get us there. For this first look, I'm going to try to go for a certain burn gimmick. So of course we have our 6-drop Nico Robin. On play, if your opponent has 3 or more life, you trash their top life. Very strong, as well as this tech from OP3, which is this 3-drop spell, Tropical Torment. Very similar in that if your opponent has 4 or more life, you trash their top card of their life area, and the trigger does basically the same thing. This kind of harkens back to other games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic the Gathering, where you have a burn strategy in which you're trying to get ahead in life total by using cards that deal direct damage. So the way this translates in One Piece is that we're gonna early on play our Robins and our Tropical Torment to push our opponent down to like 3 or 2 life, as well as consistently pressuring them with that inherent banish from our leader. We ramp up, and then we just get up to our big rush boss units like the Luffy 9-drop from OP9, as well as the 10-drop Ace from OP7. And then along the way we have a few other pressure points, such as 2 each of the 7-drop and 6-drop Big Moms. So going through the rest of the card by card, we have 6 blockers here with Shirahoshi and Queen. They kind of fulfill their own roles. Shirahoshi is a very effective cheap blocker, very hard to deal with, as well as Queen just being able to filter our hand since we have a lot of bricks. 2Ks in the form of Beige, just for the fact that he's beige, right? Frankie, very strong trigger body to play out of life in the late game. The Nami, very strong, very flexible removal for yellow. She's just crazy in OP8. You trash a trigger to kill a 5-drop, and then if you have 3 or less cards in hand, you draw a card. Does the same thing as a trigger. So very, very flexible in our mid game. Additional 2k is the Nico Ovia. On play, give your Robin leader plus 3000 power, so kind of like a Makino for your leader, so can steal some games when you're in those last turn situations. And then another new card, we have Jaguar D Soul. 3-drop 5k, has blocker, and he plays himself for free when he's flipped as a trigger, specifically because we have Robin as our leader. Then I already talked about the Big Moms, we have the Tropical Torments, and then last but not least, we have the 0-cost event, You're the One Who Should Disappear. Very, very sacky card for yellow, of course, very similar to beige, also just being a 4-of because we have plenty of non-counter cards such as the Big Moms, the Sauls, additional copies of Luffy and Ace to pitch for that 3k counter, not to mention like the Tropical Torments. So some other cards you could play in here. I've seen some people do a heavier straw pad package where they played the new 1-draw purple law that you can do to search out. I just didn't feel like it was consistent enough as far as how many straw hats you could realistically fit in the deck, but that's something we could definitely try. And then another card that's usually in lieu of the Tropical Torments is the 3-drop Dareshi, which is look at top 5 for 2 triggers. I just personally felt this was a little bit slow. I could be wrong, but I really want to follow the burn gimmick because I thought it was super sweet. So yeah, that's definitely a thing that other people are doing, which I think is perfectly reasonable, but let's just see if we can scam some people out with this burn strategy. Without further ado, let's get right into the gameplay. Alright, so going into game 1, we have the purple-black Luffy leader, also new from OP9. So I think for this one, let's try to go first, see if we can open with that Tropical Torment curve. Okay, nothing great here. It's actually kind of a yikes. Okay, the ace is not bad, the ace is not bad. Here, I think it's worth developing Sol, so I'm just gonna swing for 5, and then let's pitch the... Since these all have counter, let's pitch the 0-cost event to gain it on. And we'll play Sol. Okay, so Opponent opts for the new 3-cost Zoro, lets them ramp up thanks to their leader ability. Also gives them a lot of extra Dawn to work with. Looks like they're going in for 7. I'm just going to take this, especially since we have the ace coming up later on. So, no real threat yet. Ooh, another soul, that's not bad. Okay, so what are we going to do here? Let's go... I kind of like developing the extra 2 blockers, and then that way it gets my hand size a little bit lower. That way a turn later I can play Nami to potentially blow up his next card that he plays, or just blow up the Zoro. I don't really need a ramp since we're already on an even curve for ace, so let's just go ahead and go 6, banish at lead. See if we pull another card for counter. Okay, so he gave us the 2k, not surprising. And we'll just go ahead and play the next Sol and the Shirahoshi. We'll just leave these untapped for now and have them swing into bodies like Zoro if he chooses to swing with it. Basically, the idea is that I'm trying not to ever give him a card out of his life, aside from like banishing it or taking it through a card effect. So he goes in for 5. I think it's fine to give him a 2k. I kind of want to keep the Nami, and he's representing like a 7 or 8k swing. And I don't think we need to use the blockers yet, since it's pretty hard for him to deal with these. Okay, so he's ramping up again with the Zoro. So 2 active Dawn, probably is going to put 7 on leader, or 6 with leader actually. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. Another Shiroshi, okay. Ooh, the Big Mom, not bad. Okay, is that better than just killing his board? I think so, because then I can ace after and then Big Mom after that. So I believe that's what I'm gonna go for. Because I could go Nami plus Shiroshi, which is pretty strong. Yeah, let's do that. Well, Nami first, pitching our only trigger. So this is a 5 cost, right? Yeah. So we drew a card. Ooh, the Robin's not bad either. Put one of the Sols at the rested Zoro, see if he gives it. If he guards, I'll probably just give the other Sol into it as well. Ooh, gave it 2k. Okay. Let's go 5 at face. No need to ramp. Gave another 2k, okay. Let's see, 6k Sol into Zoro. Do you have the third 2k? Okay, okay, finally died. And we'll play the additional Shiroshi. So very hard to kill us from here, ideally. $5k at lead. Since we have a full board, I'm gonna take this one. Ooh, Tropical Torment, let's go! We burn the top life, since our opponent's been guarding this whole time. And if he tries to Dawn up the leader, we can just give a Shiroshi. Or, I guess 2 in this case. But we should still be fine, since we have the Sols to work with. Yeah, so we give one of the Hoshis. Probably give the other Hoshi for this Luffy swing. I don't mind giving these now, since later on there's things like the 7-cost Sanji that could rest our blockers, so might as well use them while we can, I would say. Perfect, so let's start with a 5 at lead. I mean, it's more than likely we're playing Ace's turn, so we're just going to try to bait out some more counter. Or burn a life, either ways I'm happy with. Wow, when he goes for the Gum Gum Giant. Oh, his hand must be bricked up. Okay, let's try to bait out some more stuff with the Nami at the Zoro, see if he gives anything for that. Okay. Well, while if he's gonna keep getting counter for these bodies, I'm just gonna keep pushing. Okay, so he gives it there. Gonna gain a life with Ace. And actually, I'm gonna go with the Luffy, since he's very, very low on resources at this point. Okay, and I'll pass. I'll leave up the Sol as a blocker. Okay, this, if he has Gear 5, it is what it is. I think I take this regardless. Yeah, we'll no trigger that one. Okay, not Gear 5. Little bit dicey, but can potentially kill this turn if I go... Okay, so let's think this out. Because the funny thing is that this Robin potentially ends the game here, since I can burn him from 3 to 2, and then leader burns him down to 1, and then with all these amounts of swings, I could maybe get there. Let's go ahead and take this. Ooh, Frankie, nice. Extra body to close out the game with. And then we'll just block the last swing with the Sol. Alrighty. I think that's the play, right? We go Robin, then yeah, I think so. So you trash your top life, you're down to 2. I'm just gonna go for 7. I think that should be sufficient. Don't need to trash anything. So either he gives his hand or he burns like that. We can go for I think we do a bunch of 6s, so 6 with the Frankie. I'll leave the Ace last. Although this should be deterministically lethal, because he only has 2 cards left in hand, and I have 3 small swings before the Ace. So opponent's thinking, okay, and then 11k with Ace. All right, GG. Alright, this time we're up against the Shanks. We're going first against them, but we do have a million burn spells, so I'm gonna try this, and let's see if we can scam them out. So, Dawn pass, nothing on turn 1. Okay, with this, it's actually more efficient to... If I'm going to burn a life at all, it's actually more efficient to do it through my leader than through the Tropical Torment. So I'm going to do it here. We'll trash one of the extra Tropical Torments. Yep, I was expecting that they would take it, so down to 4. Next turn, we have 6 Dawn exactly. I could play the Robin, or I could play the Tropical Torment from this position. I think I'm going to do the Torment, that way I can Dawn on my leader. Because if I tap out, then the Shanks just gets to shrink my leader for free. So, they go for a 5k swing with the Uta. I'll just take this. Ooh, nice. We'll play a Sol. Very nice. Here, I'll give the 2k. Preserve my life total a little bit. Alright. Funny enough, I don't even need to ramp this turn, since we're actually on the even curve now with the Ace. So with that being said, let's go ahead and do what I said I was going to do. We'll Torment, and we'll swing for 8, no ability. Let's see what they do about this. So they shrink. Do they counter out? Does 2k, 1k? Nice, very nice for us. So they're still at 3, so that means we get to Robin them next turn, and they still haven't really established a board yet. 6k swing. So next turn, if I take this, I'll be at 2 life. The following turn, I'd have to take 1 damage. So let's go ahead and take 1. Okay. And they probably establish 1 body, that's fine. Okay, so here, let's go Robin to trash. And then we have a 7k swing at face, so conveniently gets through their blocker. Like, they can't just block for free and shrink, thankfully. They have to give a card if they want to stop this. So they shrink us down to a 6. Let's see if they block. Probably give a 1k here. Yep. Makes sense, makes sense. We'll pass. Ooh, nice, they got the Rayleigh. Thankfully our blocker's still alive. So with the 5k swing, at best the Rayleigh swings for 6, right? So I'm just gonna take this since we have the ace coming up. Ooh. Well, change of plans, actually the Rayleigh's not even gonna have the option to swing. Let's blow it up. Yeah, sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, so we drew another Torment. We can just pitch that to the 0 cost event later. So let's go ahead and swing for 5, bait out the Shank's shrink ability. Okay, and then we'll gain a life with ace. At this point he's low enough and low enough in hand where I'm just gonna go ahead and punch face. Okay, and hopefully this should be enough to get us to the finish line, barring some crazy stuff from our opponent. Let's go ahead and give it 2k. I'll take the 8k swing. Ooh, Luffy. Good follow-up, good follow-up. Ooh, and they have the big Shanks. This is the actually this is the OP6 one, not the rush one. So they blew up our ace. That's alright. Here, funny enough, is it the mom or is it the Luffy? So I am in danger of dying because he has 2 boss monsters up now. I think I'm gonna play the mom to see if he heals me. That way I have the Luffy for later. So he burns, so he has to be really confident in being alive here. So let's just... So, we just say better have it, pretty much. Not trashing anything, of course. And what's the chances he has the 1k counter? Pretty high. I'm just gonna pass. I'm not gonna get greedy. If it turns out the Sol was lethal there, I mean, it is what it is, right? Okay, so he's starting well with a 5k swing. Let's just go ahead and give the 2k here. Oh no! It's Roger! Oh my god, I regret all my life decisions. Oh no! I don't even know if there's a single card that gets me. I guess 0 cost event? Nope. Oh my god, so even if I block, I still lose thanks to the Roger. Oh gosh. Alright, you know what? I'll let my opponent have the style kill. GG. Alright, so we're up against another new leader, which is the green-purple limb. I think... Funny thing is that their odd curve is so crazy good. I think I'm going to choose to go first because of that. Ooh, we have a Tropical Torment. That's pretty good. I'll keep this. The reason why I say her odd curve is pretty good is because on 3 Dawn they ramp, play a thing. Next turn they ramp again, and then on their 4th turn, like when they're normally at 7 Dawn, they actually at 9 Dawn, so they can play the 9-drop Zoro, which is actually very, very scary for us. So I want to take the opportunity to basically punch their face while I can. Hopefully win the race in that sense. Before I swing, let's Torment, burn a life. Oh, that's actually pretty good. And then we'll swing for 5 banish. Pitch the 0 cost event to gain a Dawn. Ideally next turn I want to do it again so that I can play Luffy on my 7 Dawn turn, so to speak. Okay, opponent guarded, makes sense. Really wish we had a 6-drop Robin here to follow up. So 5k swing, just gonna go ahead and take that, see what we get. Big Mom's not bad. So they laud for the 2k Sanji, okay, makes sense. And they ramp up to play Dofi. That's really strong. Okay. That Dofi's actually so good that, and since I only have 2 triggers in my hand anyway, I can play this. I can play the Big Mom next turn, funny enough. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna play the Nami, and trash the Sol to KO their Dofi. I just don't want that to get continuous value. Okay, so we taxed 2k out of them, not bad, not bad. Seeing that we have our next couple of turns mapped out, I'm just gonna go ahead and give the easy counter here with the Queen. Okay, so the limb is ramping up. They're gonna play something. They play another Dofi, okay, makes sense. And they play the Rosinante, which is basically another blocker when opponent attacks, okay. So Okay, here's an idea. I'm going to swing the Nami at the Rosinante to force it. Like force something, either the Dofi to block or the Rosinante to basically die here. Okay, so the counter for it. Let's go ahead and swing 6 at lead. No ramp, since we'll be at 10 next turn regardless. They take it. We burned out the 9-drop audio, so that's pretty good. It's not bad. Alright, so just go ahead and play the starter deck Mom, see what they do. And here I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. We're steadily pulling our opponent out of resources. We're still at 4 life, so even a Zoro ideally doesn't kill us here. And we actually have the Rush Luffy as follow-up, so. Okay, so they go for the audio. So once per turn, they can pay it on to gain 2k. So they have a free 2k counter every turn, so actually that's pretty annoying. So let's see, this Rosinante basically gets a swing for free. Gonna go after our Nami. Unfortunately, we don't have the counter to protect her. No trigger effect for the Robin. I could have done it to play at the Sol, but I think I'd rather have the counter in hand, to be honest with you guys. That's really good. Yeah, let's go ahead and pitch the Sol. We'll blow up Dofi. That was holy cow, that was such a timely trigger for us, having the Nami. Okay, what do I want to do here? Let's go. Funny enough, I think our leader's better pointed at the Rosinante. So they pay into it. Very interesting. So now that this ability has been used up, I'm gonna go ahead and continue taxing cards out of their hands. So let's put a 9 at their boss monster. So they're gonna go to very low resources here, and then if they protect them, I have a Luffy as a 10k swing into this guy. So okay, so they gave the 1k, play Luffy, just return 1, draw a card. 2k is pretty good actually, and then we'll go 10k at the audio. We took the blocker, nice. Okay. So we're actually in a really solid position to end the game next turn. Don't really see how our opponent closes out the game. Ooh, 9-drop Big Mom. So they do heal, but they have no cards left to work with, so that's kind of concerning for them, I would say. $10k at the big one, but they're tapped out though. Yeah, let's save her. Yep, and that's pretty much all she wrote from there on. Okay, so closing out with the wrap up. This deck was pretty fun. You know, we got to pull off the Tropical Torment and the 6-drop Nico Robin quite a few times, so that was really cool to put our opponent down to like 2 life for no reason while we're hitting him with a Banished Leader every turn. So definitely the game plan checks out. I'm very pleased to see how well the Luffy and the Ace performed as our choice of top end. The big moms do come up every now and then as well throughout my testing. The Sol was crazy, just like coming out of life for no reason, just being like the Sanji blocker from set 4, except you don't have to discard a card, is actually super huge because he can also swing later. And yeah, lots and lots to figure out with this archetype still. I'm definitely excited to see what happens as we get further into OP9 with the Asian territories, like what they figure out with this leader. So yeah, that'll be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, as always. If you made it to the end, let me know what other leaders we should be working on next. So remember to like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more, and we'll see you all next time.